Oh, we're gonna build a big wall. Well, then I go around the wall.
Yes, like, but. Hey guys, so welcome back to the right place. Welcome if it's the first time. Thank you for watching first of all, and then also I want to invite you to use the comment section. I'm going to be doing some stuff. I've got some things on backlog. This interview with Helen and Ola was actually done last May, so that was a while ago. But I mean, we can always do more stuff, and if you have any ideas, I'd love to talk to you. Anyway, so we're getting to the end of our conversation, and we start to move a little bit away from, I was obviously completely overwhelmed by the idea of being a sailor, like living on the sea. So I had a lot of things to talk about in that sense, but now we're moving away from that a little bit. We talk about Greta Thunberg, which is interesting because this was shot in last May, which was before she became this sort of viral sensation. And so, but they are from Sweden. Helen and Ola are from Sweden, and Greta is also from Sweden, so that's probably why they had an opinion in this sort of early days. Anyway, let's take a listen.
In this world I don't understand, because in Sweden you have this little girl, Rita Thunberg, who's she's 16 years old and start protest against the climate. And now all the politicians are like standing beside her, and oh, you're so clever, bam. Should it be like a 16-year-old girl to
be doing this?
To tell the Swedish government how to do it? I found that fantastic, actually. And she had been around now and met the Pope, and Bobo from U2 are upholding her, and Obama in USA. Wow. Everybody is loving this little girl. Should be a 60-year-old girl.
Yeah, leading the fight. I guess it doesn't.
I don't understand that. That's ridiculous.
Well, how about the issue of the whole climate change? Are you able? It's mostly the fact that it's a child leading this fight, and the fact that.
Yeah, but I think they should start to clean up the ocean instead. There's so much plastic, and you see that when you're out sailing, how much plastic it is actually. It's unbelievable.
Where have you encountered most of this debris out in the water?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. You see nets, like ghost net floating around. You see plastic, everything, all the time.
Everything ends up there. The river's always. Here, I take this shirt off.
No, but that's something I think. Not only reading about it, because when you're living like this, you are really saving a lot of the planet, because you don't buy so much things, because you can't have the space for it.
Yes.
And you're living more day for day. You buy less of everything and not plastic, and you're very careful what you're doing with it. So I think living on a boat is very saving for the planet.
Well, yes, anytime we're not living large, as long as we're not consuming very much. When you take consumption down, we are helping, and people, we get used to life, and you're like, oh, this is just what I do. I consume a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. We should be focusing more. We waste resources on everything. Governments waste resources on things that are ridiculous. Why not take a few people out there and clean things up, right?
Yeah. Instead of celebrating a young girl who's speaking about it, they have to listen what she's saying and do something about it. It's what she's saying. Instead, they are more. Oh, now we are in glamour.
Let her talk. Yeah, but don't spend all this time. They probably have dinners and stuff where they should be having to go celebrate people that are talking about it. Let's stop celebrating talking about it, and let's start doing. Right?
Yeah, I heard that action speaks louder than words, but
yeah. It hasn't clicked with some people.
No.
Not good all the way. No.
So I have some personal experiences that have shaped the way I see the world. When I was 11 years old, my family decided to migrate to the U.S. illegally. We couldn't We couldn't do it any other way. My father had decided to do it before because my little brother, he has Down syndrome, but when he was born he had a lot of issues. My father was in the military, but his salary wasn't enough to cover the medical bills, and he ended up not having a choice, so he migrated. 4 or 5 years later, he said, I'm not doing this alone, you guys have to come up here. And so we went. And it was a fight for like 12 years of being illegal, and then I was like, I'm getting out of here, I don't need to be here. But I still see this, you know, now I'm this illegal everywhere I go. Even though I'm now no longer an illegal, I feel like I always have this. And I was at the beach and I saw a raft, this inflatable raft that was just right there in the backpack. I was like, oh, this is probably how they come. So people cross the Mediterranean on these inflatable rafts.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about this interview, I thought, maybe you haven't seen anybody out in the ocean.
Yeah, we saw, not in the ocean, but we saw when we picked them up.
Oh, really?
And in, what was that? Outside Gibraltar, yeah.
Yeah, just before Marina, before the Gibraltar, we were waiting for passing, and we have heard it a lot. Try sailing here, you know, it's a pan, it's a wake up call. It's a little warning. If it's a big warning, you say Mayday, but pan, it's a warning. And every day they're talking about it on the radio, like it's rubber boats out there, and if you see them, you have to call in and things like that. So it's really close when you sail.
So every day you have like boats with 50 to 100 people on.
And the guys we saw, they come with the rubber boats, and all the
every day. You know.
All the guys have this on.
Spain, you know.
Yeah, well, this is the gateway.
And it's scary because they're out there, and sometimes the water is not nice.
No,
it's
a lot
really
of people
rough.
drowning.
Yeah.
And people looking like this, everyone have this on, and it was so quiet because I was thinking that people coming to land, it should be like, wow, talking and they are happy. It was so quiet, it was really scary. No, people were dressed like, you know, they're looking like it was a epidemic of something when they bring them. They go one and one, no one speak to each other. It was really sensitive.
Well, I mean, you know, we crossed through the desert, and it was a short crossing. It was long enough to be dangerous because we ran out of water, but then it was fine. And I always thought, you know, the desert, super dangerous, lots of people die. And I think about the water.
Yeah.
If you just, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. You're not going. And I'm like, that's got to be way more scary. I imagine after that,
And they can't swim.
Yeah, they can't swim.
And it's so like, the water is scary, and people going there, you know, the worst thing is that people earn a lot of money on them to sell this ticket to go on the rubber boat.
And possibly die. You know, they charge you to possibly die. Yes. I mean, there obviously shouldn't be a business in doing this. One of the thoughts that connected in my mind, thinking again about the interview, this is amazing that you get to do this, you know, go wherever you want, really. You've never had any issues. Have you ever had any issues anywhere?
No, just get bored of policemen and stuff like that. Not
Motor problem and things, and
but with the law,
things.
no problems with the law.
No problem with the law.
not so far.
Not so far, yes, until you decide to go rogue and put that pirate flag up.
Yeah.
Fun, you know?
And so here's this contrast between a lot of people who are free to roam the world. There are many people who can roam the world freely as they wish. And then we have a section of the population who have to get on a rubber boat and pay some sketchy guy to put you in the water to go seek whatever. You don't even know, because a lot of the people that come here, I've been reading stories, this is not what they wanted. This is not what they imagined, and they couldn't imagine. How could they imagine? They just see a movie, or they hear about somebody who's doing really well, and then they go, and then they get there, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm a second-class citizen. I'm never going to be looked at the same. This kind of sucks."
No, of course. And I'm not gonna have it work or whatever, you know. It's not gonna happen either.
No. What do you guys think about this crisis around the world? Would you call it a crisis even?
Yeah, of course it's a crisis. Of course it is. It's going to be interesting to see where it's ending, actually, because it's so funny. We did so well because we took away Gaddafi, from the Libya, and see what's happening now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because the borders are wide open now, so all these people can go to Libya, to Morocco, and go by rubber boats here. Before they couldn't do it because we actually paid Gaddafi to close the borders. Now we try to pay the other guys, but they are fighting to each other instead, still fighting after Gaddafi. So it wasn't good then, but it's not better.
Yeah, I don't think. I think one day we will learn that there's no solution. There's no solution that is easy. Cut off the head of the government, or even pay. I'm Mexican. I'm from Mexico. The U.S. pays Mexico to try to keep migrants at the border, but Mexico doesn't care. Mexico's like, well, you wanna move? Go ahead. Go on.
We're gonna build a big wall. Well, then I go around the wall.
Yes, but they're paying the government, but that's not going to fix the problem. So we need to start looking at bigger solutions for these things. Maybe coming together as a world. I find this relationship in Europe between the countries amazing, because everybody's kept in check. You can be giving money, but you have to be spending it the right way, and we take care of you. If the whole world came together, then maybe we could figure this whole thing out. But we're not doing that.
No, it's not in the nature of the human being either.
We look too different from each other. I think that's probably the problem.
But I don't understand it, because it's the most fantastic picture really have done is from the space, when you see Earth on the picture out in the space, and you see it's not close to each other, it's just water, and it's connecting us, and you see it when you're sailing. We need to help each other. If your countries with a lot of money try to build and help the other countries up in Africa, they need water, they need possibilities to grow their own food, and I think we need to change our minds. It's not this is ours, we don't want to do anything for anyone.
It's in the end, if an apple, we'll look at the world as an apple. If an apple starts to rot at the bottom and you're at the top, eventually the rot will come to you.
Yeah,
we can't escape this. And before it gets bad, hopefully we figure something out. But this is very far on the horizon. I think the best way I've had to look at it is we separate ourselves from each other. Maybe you're from Sweden, I am Mexican. Maybe I am proud to be Mexican, you're proud to be Sweden, and we have some things. When we separate each other's, I like to think that we always put ourselves a little bit higher. Even subconsciously. As long as you create a separation, you put yourself a little bit above, even if it's just slightly. When we come together, when we truly come together, then we'll be able to work. But these lines that are so firmly drawn on the sand.
Yeah, and that's so strange.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
It is like that.
But sailing is a good thing, because you meet, it can be whatever. We meet a Russian couple in Benalmadena, they're passing, and you see it's from all over the world. They have a tiny little boat, they wanted to sail, and they didn't like Russia, the government, they have problem with that and things. Yeah. But they are sailing and they're meeting other people, and you can always learn when you meet people. It's no borders when you're sailing.
Yeah.
You are free, and you have to be free in your mind to meet other people.
That's a beautiful thought, and I think we can connect that to the other thing.
Sailing community, you have people from all the world.
Yeah. And there's no border.
No.
You guys are free people, and it feels amazing, right?
And you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be, you meet. It doesn't matter. You are not speaking so much about money that you have on land.
No.
What are you working with? What are you doing?
You suddenly just become people, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. I think that's probably a good moment to end this. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, it was so interesting that you want to do an interview. It's like, wow.
Well, you guys are very interesting people. I just knew it. I was like, if they would let me talk to them, it would be amazing. And thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is a project that I'm just starting. to kind of just on the human experience.
Yeah.
And well, this is a beautiful side of the human experience. So thank you.